Okay, we are live and we are back. And today is the fourth match of the ongoing Women's Tri Nation ODI series. And today again, India taking on Sri Lanka. Obviously, India have won their first two matches and they're likely to be in that final. But Sri Lanka made a stunning comeback, I would say, because last match everyone might be thought that okay, South Africa might win their game, that game, but the way South Africa batters batted during that chase, I would say it was phenomenal to see. And now I think this Sri Lanka with that momentum will like to give a tough fight to India also. Tushadi, so what do you expect from this match? A better performance from Sri Lanka than what they did in the first match itself against India?
As long as Sri Lanka does not make some extremely stupid changes to the team.
Yes.
So because I think I was telling this in the last game itself, I like the
Mhm.
fact that they have gotten Sugandhika Kumari, and what was the other name? I'm sorry, Sri Lanka names are a little tough. So,
Yes.
and anybody who has seen Rev Sports would know that names are anyway a issue with me. Just give me 1 second. I'll tell you because I have the border in mind.
Nilashika Silva, what was there?
Uh,
Oh,
let
Vihanga
me.
was there. She got the debut. Vihanga,
Yes,
she bowled well.
Vihanga.
Mm.
Vihanga. Yeah,
Mm.
Vihanga was a very good change. I was telling you the other day, and of course, Vishmi Gunaratne coming in does make a big difference because she's another batter who can, play that long innings, can stay at one end and let the others play. I think I was quite happy with the way Samara Vikrama played as well. But
Mhm.
the problem, Snehashish, is that they're not consistent enough. Had they been
Mhm.
consistent enough, you would see Sri Lanka's rise, a rapid rise. But see, last game they played well. This game, you never know. They might not turn out in the same manner.
Mhm.
That has been a huge problem. That even and everyone in the team, including Chamari Atapattu,
Mhm.
are absolutely not consistent. That is where I think Sri Lanka has been, kind of Sri Lanka's growth has been stalled in the whole. If you see in the women's cricket whole stream.
Yes, absolutely. And Chamari Adapatu as a batter, I think yet to fire in this series. So that was a very positive sign for them that in that chase, without her, they managed to pulled up that chase. So that's a positive sign. But rightfully you mentioned that when it's come to Hasani Pereira, Harshita Samaravikrama, they batted superbly, especially the strike rate. The strike rate 80-90 shows that they didn't stuck at one place. They are always looking for those singles and doubles. So that helped them to complete that chase. But the consistency, that is the problem. Can they do it again today against another top
Exactly.
spinning side against India? Because
Yeah.
when it comes to when you compare the spinning ability or the spinners ability to South Africa and India, there will be a huge difference. These spinners of India will be a much bigger task for them when, because in South Africa, I think Trishadi, this is a very good point that in South Africa you have to deal with one Malaba. Sunelu might be another threat, but otherwise there is nothing else because Chloe Trans balls doesn't turn. She just come, ball to wicket, and that's it. So I think that helped a bit. But the way they managed to bat against Malabar, but against India, I think it will be a very hard task against top quality spinners.
Absolutely. I think you have absolutely hit the nail on its head. That the quality of bowling will be much, especially spinners, will be way different. I think Ayabonga Kaka was good, so was Class. But more than Kaka, I think Class was better. Kaka was
Yes,
kind of off
I think
length.
I think Avonga Khaka missing marathon cap. I think with her, I think does well.
Yes, actually, without Marizane Cap, Ayabanga Khaka almost looks half of what the
Mm.
bowler she is.
Yes.
But you are so true. I mean, you have put it so rightly that the level of spinners, say Sneh Rana, you cannot compare Sneh Rana, that to an informed Sneh Rana with a Malaba, you know.
Yes.
And Sunelu, I think Sunelu would be like Pratika Rawal, who
Yes.
So the standard of spin bowling will be much much better, and that is what you want. You want to see if, that's why I'm saying that losing against Sri Lanka probably is something um, that South Africa will be really hurt by, or South Africa will be really pondering that does that mean our spin batting isn't great, our mentality isn't great, or something of that sort. But
Hmm.
when it comes to Sri Lanka has to keep in mind that even South Africa is not a at par team to their level. They have to bring in their best game when they're playing against India. So it'll be very interesting to see that these particular batters, how do they apply themselves? Uh, if you see, there is, I said this the last game, there is a huge level of difference in the skill that is there, but with your limitations, how can you then challenge a team like India is something I would love to see. But if Chamari Atapattu fires and she gets a 70, 80, 100, then the whole scene looks different. Yeah.
Yes,
So I think
absolutely,
that, and
absolutely.
maybe Atapattu will hope that she wins the toss and gets to. She likes chasing, so apparently if she gets to chase.
Mhm. That's the point. But I remember, Trishadi, that after that first match, India versus Sri Lanka, we were discussing that as a captain also, Chamari Yadav didn't did well, especially like using spinners up front against Smriti Mandana and all. But
Yeah.
the best part was that the second match only she come up with a better plan. She used her spinners from the first over itself, first spell itself, and it worked for them. And it also helped their pacers to get into the game. See, Malki
Yes.
Madara, she ended up taking 4 wickets, but the spinners put the pressure from the first
Oh,
over
I was
itself, so that
really
helped.
impressed with Madara. I was
Yes,
actually
yes. And
impressed with
Malki
Madara.
Madara has been
Off
pretty
cutters.
impressive. Yes,
Sorry,
pretty impressive. I
leg
think she
cutters, not off
made.
cutters.
Uh, I think she made her debut. I think in the previous New Zealand series, in the T20 series, and she was the player of the match. What I saw that in the first match itself, what the only match that Sri Lanka won. So she was
Yeah.
on a debut. So a very good bowler, a very good prospect. But absolutely, it's early stage of the career. She needs to be very consistent, and hopefully Sri Lanka can manage her. But when it comes to Atapattu, she made very good changes in the second match itself. So it looked that she understood the mistake that she did against India, and she come up with a better plan. But as a batter, what is going wrong with Atapattu, Trishadi? Is she trying too hard to give that big starts to her team, or maybe wrong choice of shots? What is going on?
Yeah, Atapattu actually can be completely blamed for choosing weird points of times. It's not like
Mm.
she's not capable of a long innings, but at times what happens is when you have a dasher like Atapattu, two dot
Mm.
balls, three dot balls, and suddenly you're thinking, well, my team is expecting me to give them a 6 runs per over start, and I should be trying to be creative, or I should try to hit something out of the park. I don't think the Sri Lankan wicket is that easy that you can hit sixes at will. And that is where I'm telling you, Snehashish, Tasmin Brith's innings
Yes.
against India was brilliant. But, the first half of the innings, not the two balls that she
Mm.
lasted when she came, but in general, the innings. And that is where Atapattu needs to take some time. What actually kind of annoys me is to think that it's your home conditions. You would be knowing it
Mm.
better. We
Yes.
sitting here, we can see that the conditions are tough for the batters, and you know that you have to be patient. There was a phase when both Samara Vikrama and Pereira, they had to face a lot of deliveries, a lot of dot deliveries. They were trying to take singles and keep the scoreboard going, but you knew that there will be spells where you are not going to get boundaries because, again, the pitch is not easy. The outfield is also not fast. You have to remember that part
Exactly.
is also very important. If the outfield is not fast,
Exactly. Yes.
sorry.
Oh dear.
So if the outfield is not fast, what happens is generally what you expect to be a boundary will actually
Mm.
end up being two or three. And Atapattu is not someone who loves to run as well. So that is another aspect that she needs to add on.
Mm. Yes, and when you are, class apart with all due respect to all other batters in Sri Lanka lineup,
Yeah,
she is a class apart from others. There is no doubt about it. So, and everyone knows that, including her. So I think you have to. I know that she loves to play her shots, but I think she needs to develop that game. I need to bat long for my team, because
absolutely.
the long she stays there, the longer she stays there, Sri Lanka will be in a fine position when it comes to the, in terms of the scorecard. So I think that is a game that she needs to work. Obviously, play your shots, but wait for that loose ball. If you continues to, I will continue to strike. I think that will not work. Yeah, in T20 format that might work, but in 50 over format that will not work, I think.
Absolutely, and not only it's not even about the format. It is also,
Mm.
as I said, it is also about the conditions that you have to keep in mind. If
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
was Australia, if this was South
Mm.
Africa or New Zealand, ball
Yes.
coming onto the
The
bat,
bounce. Mm.
the bounce, England, there will be good bounce. You can play with that, and you can play on your back foot. You can use that bounce. You can use the pace. Here, the ball is, you know. The ball is barely coming to you. The ball, and by chance, if the bowler bowls a slower ball, you have to wait for 3 minutes. You have to finish your meditation, and then you have to hit. It's almost like that. So there, I think the important part is that you have to play the waiting game, as they say. Wait,
Mm.
let the bowler bowl a bad ball to you, and they will, because Snehashish, if you know that Chamari Atapattu is batting at one end, as a bowler, you are thinking the margin for error is very little. If I bowl short, she's gonna cut me. If I bowl this way, she's gonna play this shot. So I have to bowl a consistent length, and it is not easy to do that, right? But
Yes.
instead of that, Chamari Atapattu is trying to manufacture a shot, which is unnecessary in ODI cricket, especially. You have 50 overs, you're opening the batting. You have 300 balls to play. I remember
Yes.
one of my coaches said we were chasing, and we needed some 100 odd in 15
Mm.
overs. So I think in our head we were panicking a little. And one of my coaches said, do not say 100 runs in 15 overs. Say 100 runs in 90 balls. Does it look better to you? Do you have enough time in hand? And I was like, all of a sudden, yes, of course. When you say 50 overs, you'll see, acha, 50 overs. Now think of this, 300 deliveries. That's a lot of
Mm.
balls. So you have enough time to settle in and hit.
Even after a slow start, you have enough time to cover up that thing
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you stay longer there. So I think that is the point that as a batter, I think you expect a batter like Chamari Atapattu to develop, because she is a class apart. There is no doubt about that. Okay, moving on to Team India. Trishadi, any particular changes you expect in Team India's lineup? Maybe a new phase or something, or maybe the same playing 11.
I don't expect changes. I don't expect debuts, but India is not listening for sure.
Yes, the right person is there. I think
The right
he or
person is
she will
there
decide.
who will be giving debut caps every series. I mean, how can a team, just by the way, in T20s, we might not be doing well, but apart from the Australia series, we have been on a roll in ODIs. And even then, we are giving debut caps. मतलब ये तो कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है. अच्छा, we are giving debut
अलग ही
caps, but
कॉन्फिडेंस.
हाँ, but उनको एक एक सीरीज खिलाते हैं, फिर हम लोग बिना कोई कारण ड्रॉप कर रहे हैं. Like, think of this, Neashish. If you're Priya Mishra, if you're
Yes,
seeing these conditions, if you're seeing the way the bowlers are getting purchased, are you not getting frustrated at home and thinking, what did
obviously,
I do
obviously,
wrong? So you
obviously. In
cannot be
these
judging Priya
conditions,
Mishra.
Priya Mishra with those airy deliveries and googling, superb. I think she must be disappointed not to be there.
It's not even disappointing. As a player, it starts getting frustrating. Which is
Yes,
when, if you bring in
definitely.
Priya Mishra next series and suddenly you're like, why is she not the same bowler that she was? It is your
Mm.
fault equally. Uh,
Yes.
so, but
And
anyway,
you have to use your resources according to the conditions. You cannot
yeah,
expect Priya Mishra to do well in a pitch like England or Australia and question her that why you are not picking wickets, right?
exactly.
So
I
So
mean,
that is.
the right person at the right time in the right condition.
Yes, all
But
depends on that right person.
yes, absolutely. Everything in life depends on the right person.
Yes.
Ideally, I would say that look, India should not experiment today per se, but
Mm.
once India wins the game today, then in the game against South Africa, I would like to see them test their bench strength
Yes, I
because
think
otherwise,
I win today, confirm their place in the final, right? Three
yeah,
wins is
because
done.
nobody else can win
Yes,
three matches, no?
exactly, exactly. Yes, so it's done. Yes,
Yeah, Sri Lanka will be left
yeah.
with one game against South Africa.
Mm.
South
Mm.
Africa has two games,
They are
so
yet to
nobody
win.
can reach
Yeah,
three
only
games.
4 points. Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think
So
South
then
Africa
again,
will get
South
back
Africa, there
selected
is a
pressure.
chance. You can
Yeah,
try your bench strength.
you have to, otherwise कब try करोगे भाई? Final में थोड़ी try
Yes.
करोगे.
Mm. Then you
Say for
can see
example, a
Amanjot.
Shruti Upadhyay. Why have you taken her? You have to see her in one game at least. Who else? At number three,
Amanjot is there. He
Yastika.
is making comeback.
Yes, maybe make Arundhati sit for a match and getting
Mm.
an Amanjot, not Kashvi, because
Yes,
Kashvi, this
not
is
Kashmir.
Kashvi's first series,
Definitely.
so don't
Yes.
drop Kashvi. But
Mm.
this is, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they actually not try their bench strength at all. Just stick
Mm.
to the winning combination. But
Yes.
then I would actually question why would you carry a Shruti Upadhyay or Yastika, I understand. Yastika, Amanjot, these
Mm.
selections I completely understand. But having said that, I don't know. Amanjot, I have nothing against Amanjot. I wanted her to make a comeback, but I did not understand in this series. I would have much rather, had
England.
Priya Mishra in place of Amanjot. England, absolutely. If
Amanjot.
Amanjot is not there in the England series,
Mm.
then I can't do anything. The
Blunder.
right person,
That is not a
yeah,
mistake. That's a blunder.
then the right persons have done the wrong thing.
Uh, yes. Okay, let's move some comments. Asim Hans. Okay, Asim Hans is here. Although Sri Lanka won versus South Africa, any thoughts on their fielding and catching? Except Nilakshi's brilliant catch, there were at least 3, 4 dropped catches. South Africa could have been restricted even further. Yes,
No,
good
that
point.
though South Africa could have fielded well as well. South Africa was letting balls go between their legs. I mean, that's like the worst kind of fielding. Even kids uh, are not in India. If you miss that, you will probably be asked to run twice. Entire the entire field, go, run twice. Who misses like that? But extremely poor fielding. But only thing is, Asim, I was just wondering, seeing the way. Um, the girls are or the women are very of throwing themselves on the ground. I'm not 100% sure if the outfield is harder or something of that sort is wrong, where everybody, all three teams, yes, India has fielded well, but if you see, there is always that hesitation to dive in these
Mm.
places. So I'm not 100% sure if there is something wrong with the outfield.
Yes.
Could be little harder. That's why you don't want to dive,
Maybe.
because you are scared of getting injured.
But that Nilakshi catch was super. The way she
Yeah.
got that. Rohit Ryan must be very disappointed. Ultimately, after a long time, she was batting so well, and she got out like that.
And something that I should not say this, it's very poor of me. But for a second, I was like, it is Chloe Tran? She is batting for this long? Are you sure? And I was
That's
actually,
batting for
I was
this long
doubting
and
the
batting at
scorer.
a strike rate of 85. You can.
And I was
Oof.
doubting the scorer. I was like, are you sure that's Chloe Tran? But again, Deckerson, yeah, extremely impressive.
Yes.
When
Okay. Oh,
somebody very
Dickerson.
rightly wrote in Twitter, Snehashish, that
Hmm.
in the absence of Cappy, a shadow of Cappy is actually doing the work for
Hmm.
South Africa. This
Yes.
was
Yes.
so
And
brilliant.
obviously you were not there in that post-match live. Me and Naman was there, and we're discussing that just after the completion of the first innings, Mason Cap came up with that wish for her
It.
that yeah,
Yes.
big things are coming for this player. So I think that is the best gift that she can achieve after that innings. I will say, I think superb, superb, and
But
especially
this
especially
is. Yeah.
Especially that me and Naman were discussing. I would like to have a point, have a view from you that I think this is the bonding that you want from a senior to a junior,
Absolutely.
and most importantly, when that senior player is not retired, she is a firmly part
He's
of this
part of the
squad.
team.
Yes,
Yes.
she is part of the, and she will definitely make a comeback. She will play that World Cup. Obviously, direction will be there. That is a no doubt. But when a player is rested and the legend herself, wishing her just after the completion, that means that is the bond that you want in a dressing room, right, Tushar?
Absolutely, and I was just telling you that what I like about Marizana Cap is she's very open about praising people. I remember when Alice Capsey made
Mm.
some runs in the 100. I don't remember the exact match, but Marizana Cap had actually written that this player is going to make it big. To which Mithali Raj had tweeted that you're so correct. And Capsy has, maybe she has not performed up to potential, but
Mm.
obviously she has turned out to be one of the most talented players. And as far as Marisana Cap and Deckerson, last game itself, I was like, wow, think of this. Deckerson and Cap playing together, and they are having these partnerships. Woolward can take
Yes.
some. Woolward can be absolutely like, it's fine. I'm done. I'm not
Done.
asking her to retire. I'm saying that pressure on Woolward to
Exactly.
perform will go away. What that eventually does is you will see it in the next match itself, Snehashish,
Mm.
that
Mm.
since that pressure will be less, she will open up a lot more. Though, by the way, Laura Woolward got a pitch of a delivery. That leg
Yeah.
cutter, that was
Super. Super.
brilliant. I mean,
Yes. You cannot do anything. The ball
yeah,
pitched in a
exactly.
perfect
Whoever
line
you are.
and it hit
Yeah.
the top of off stump. Superb stuff.
And it left Lara Woolward,
Mhm.
Laura Woolward at the last moment. You guys cannot
Yes,
be having the same names,
you
Laura,
can. Yes.
Lara Goodall. But oh, by the way, Lara Goodall also
Oh yes, yes. I think she must be relieved. Okay, I have scored some runs. A
I'm
good
relieved that
46
at
runs.
least she has more shots than the sweep.
Yes,
Let's just say so.
absolutely. Absolutely. But at least she will be relieved that okay, 46 run. At least she showed the management. Okay, I can be your at least.
I am there. मैं हूँ
Yeah, I
यहाँ.
am there. I am there. You can pick me in the squad. I am there. Okay. Prince of World. ECB announced venue of 2026 T20 World Cup, but BCCI still not announced this year World Cup venues. Yes.
No,
And I
venues have
think
been
as
announced.
yes. No, it's all
Venues have
reports,
been
no, not official. Yeah.
no, venues have been announced, but we don't have a schedule which matches will be played where.
Exactly.
Venues have been announced.
Yeah, venues that five venues announced, but yeah, the
And there
schedule is
will be
not announced.
some venues in Sri Lanka because now that Pakistan has qualified, it will
Hybrid
be a
model,
hybrid
yes.
model.
Mhm. I think that is the reason that Trishati already mentioned. I think in the first post match live that might be this is the reason that is why the schedule is getting delayed. Otherwise, it could have been
I think
we
after
have
the
to
we will get it
try
only
series.
after IPL.
Mhm. Yes.
I think at
Okay,
times
Syed Nizamuddin has come up
I
with
think
a
at times
different game.
Indian cricket fans forget that IPL is a huge event to manage for BCCI. So you have to be a
Yes.
little more patient, with IPL happening in so many venues, so many crews, so many things involved. You have to be a little more patient with the board. Syed Nizamuddin, what a game of
What?
cricket! Excellent manager. Dayal has hold the nerves and done it for RCB again. Did it in 2024 as well. Did it here in 2025 as
Yes.
well. I think Yash there is repaying the faith that RCB has shown in him.
They're superb. After getting hit for five sixes, 2023, then you make a comeback like this, and not only 1 year, 2024 and now 2025. Superb story as that. And you need a lot of guts to to make such a comeback. And
Absolutely.
get done. Okay. Okay, Prince of World, which Indian player today will make impact?
I want to say Jemima. I always want to
Yeah.
say Jemima.
Yes. Or Jamama, or maybe if Shriti Vandana gets a start, please convert into a big sport. Please.
40.
Yes.
See, I'll tell you what. It's nothing against her, but whoever is the aggressor, this is something that
Hmm.
I have been saying, that it's very easy to say that Shafali was making the 20s and 30s and getting out. But if you are supposed to
Hmm.
be the aggressor, then you have to take your chances. If you take your
Hmm.
chances, you are bound to get out.
Yes.
And that's fine. I would like to see Chamari Athapathu bringing on spin, you know,
Hmm.
absolutely start with spin at one end. And
Exactly.
and what is the name of the pacer? I'm forgetting again.
Malki Madara. Malki Madara.
Madara. Yeah,
Hmm.
and Madara from the other end would
Ah,
be very,
yes.
very interesting.
Okay, Pavan Shure is saying, I think this match will be very close. Hope so. I think the more closer the match, more competition will be there and more practice you will get before that World Cup. So I will be
Yeah,
very
but not
happy.
too close. But not too close. I have had one yesterday night, please, guys.
Yes, Tushadi is a huge, huge RCB fan. I guess you guys know by now. So you can
Yeah.
understand what she went through yesterday night. The roller coaster of a ride of her emotion.
Yeah, I'm like either lose or win. Don't do this. Every over the equation is changing.
Yes. Okay, Prince of World. Tushadi, what is the power play score of India? Just predict. Let's see what will happen. Everyone loves our prediction, and everyone knows that we'll do wrong. So,
Um 48 for 2.
48 for two. Okay. Then you need definitely Jemima to do well. If India 48 for two after play power play. Yes. Hey, by the way, Tushadi, yesterday in the post match live, Asim Hans came. The first comment. South Africa to win, South Africa 280-90. Sri Lanka cannot chase, and Sri Lanka won, and now come up with the title of the live. Sri Lanka stand South Africa. Any thoughts? I said sorry, Asim bhai. Again, we did what we do.
No, I think Asim, I will still stick to it. South Africa was the
Yeah.
favorite. If you're watching, you are there, of course. Asim is there. South Africa
Yes.
was the favorite, but I think the competitive Sri Lanka turned out, and the poor South Africa turned out. So the result was Sri Lanka stunned South Africa.
Yes. Okay, Prince was saying I saw Jamie suffered from wrist injury in last match. Can we expect her in this match? There is no
Yeah,
such
yeah, there's no
serious
problem.
injury, I think. Yeah, there is serious
बच्चे खेलते हैं चोट लगता है फिर
injury.
वापस आते हैं खेलने.
Okay, Syed Nizamuddin, he is here to represent IPL. So he's sharing his top four RCB, PBKs, DC, and GT. Okay.
And MI, what happened to MI?
पसंद नहीं है एमआई
अच्छा.
बाहर कर दी लास्ट 3 मैच हार जाएगा एमआई उनके हिसाब से लग रहा है बाहर जाएगा Okay, Mandip saying Sri Lanka can defeat India if India takes lightly, which they had done in the Asia Cup final. Good point, Tushadi.
I don't know if India took Sri Lanka lightly in the Asia Cup final. I think India
Yeah.
played badly, and Sri
Mm.
Lanka played well. On that day, Sri Lanka was the better team. As simple as that. I don't think any team in this world takes another team lightly, even if they were playing against UAE, which they can now because
Mm.
UAE has got the ODI status. Uh, so I don't think anybody takes any other team lightly as such. And I don't think India in any way is taking Sri Lanka lightly. But of
Yeah.
course, the Asia Cup format was different. The
Mm.
Asia Cup form for Sri Lanka was different. Back then Sri Lanka was winning consistently. I don't think in ODIs they have been able to do to reach that as yet.
Yes. Okay, Asiman
Also,
saying I am here. Yes, you are here.
yes,
I know. We know. We know.
and also with so many left-handers, I think Sneh,
Mm.
we are going to see three more wickets from Sneh Rana.
3 more wickets. I think Shreyana having a superb tournament. I will be not surprised if she ends up with the Player of the Tournament award. There's a high, high chance. If India, yeah, there's a high, high chance, and that will be the perfect reply or comeback. You can say, when you're making a comeback and you ended up, just before the World Cup in a ODI series as a Player of the Tournament. So that will be huge, huge thing. Okay. Any
Absolutely.
more comments? Uh, Yes. Mandip, South Africa also choked from winning position against India, even lost to Sri Lanka.
True.
Yes. I think from India, I think again, me and Trishadi repeatedly, I think, mentioned that the heat played a huge role. Tasman Breed should have continued that knock. I think things would
Last
have been
game
different.
also, no, Meso had to
Meso,
be replaced by
a
Jafta
heart
under the
issue.
pinch.
Yes. Yeah, she and that's why Japta replaced her in the middle of the innings. Yes.
Heart
Even
issue
Sunelu
was
got injured.
heart issue.
There's a issue, some heart related. We shared the update. There's
Yeah, no, no, it's heart related, but it began with heat related. It's a
okay,
heat
okay,
related illness,
okay,
not
okay, okay,
directly
okay.
heart. Like
Yeah.
it's related to cardio, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not directly heart as such.
Okay, okay. But due to the heat, it happened. Okay, okay, okay. Again, and Sunelu also got injured. So it will be interesting to
See,
see
that's
whether
what
this.
I'm saying. Sunelu got injured while fielding in the boundary line or something of that sort. He
Mm,
dived and the knee hit the ground.
mm,
So, that is the point I was trying to make in the fielding part. That while
mm.
we are seeing maybe players are not confident enough to sit and field. That because the ground is hard, so probably the knees will get hurt.
Yes. Okay, Mandeep saying South Africa would be kicking themselves for losing a one game. Absolutely, I think they will be
They
must
are
be
not in their dressing
frustrated.
room. We don't know
Yes,
if they're kicking each other or doing what.
they will be frustrated. I,
Yeah, yeah, they
I,
should be.
yes. I think they obviously they were in a winning position against India, and if they would have managed to win that game and against Sri Lanka, everyone expected South Africa to win. So there's a high chance that today, when we're discussing this live, South Africa would have been in the top position with 4 points. So 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 I think they will be very frustrated. Okay, any more comments? No, nothing as of now.
Toss
Okay, is
hasn't
it?
been done.
Yes, that is I'm checking. Checking.
I like international games more than IPL games. At least women's game was happening. All of us want to see more, international women's games, especially. Expecting
Oh,
Chamari come with some form, want competitive match. Same here. So true.
same. We all want hard to bat well.
Exactly.
Uh, as of now,
Why is toss not happening?
okay. Nothing as of now. I think still jobs which will happen.
It's a 10 a.m. game, right? You and I are not
Yes.
sitting here for a.
Yes, and there is no such updated rain happening or not. So I think
No, no, no.
yes.
There's no rain. There's no rain.
So okay, I think it will happen some for some reason maybe it got delayed. So
I think they have
that will
lost
be
a
one.
coin. I think they have lost.
Bring out the Shole wala coin.
No,
Bring out that.
something had happened. No, Rohit Sharma had the coin and he forgot.
हैपेंड वो हाँ वो शायद अपने पॉकेट में घुसा दिया था शायद वो भूल गया किधर है फिर बोला कि मेरे पास ही है उधर से ऐसा कुछ था हाँ, रोहित शर्मा एंड इज
And his
स्टोरीज
bhul jana. And I तो can't say anything. I'm telling you,
yes
I'm
man.
becoming Rohit Sharma for no apparent.
Okay, Mandeep Singh, today Sri Lanka will come hard. It will not be easy, especially they are coming with a confidence. So expecting a close game tonight. Yes, they're also expecting that with that confidence they will do much better than they do it in the first match against India. Is done. Next कोई और कुछ नहीं है. Okay, anything there?
What do you think? I mean, if India wins the toss, you think they would put Sri Lanka to bat probably because Sri Lanka has won chasing, or do you think India should bat
In the
first?
last match, in the last match, India batted fast, right? In the last match, yes. In the
Yeah.
last match, India batted fast. I don't know. I think India will go for
In
the
the match
chase.
against Sri Lanka, India chased.
Hmm.
Against South Africa, India batted first. So
Hmm.
what would they do today?
I think India will go for the. I think India loves to chase. If you see, I think India loves to chase, but
True.
already you have got practice of batting fast. So I think that is one box ticked. Okay, at least we have batted fast once. So if they
So you think
didn't bat
India
it,
will want to chase?
yeah, if they didn't bat it, I think in the past two matches, every time I think they chased, then would have they would have okay. This time, if we win the toss, we'll go for batting first.
Right, right.
And do you think, Vishali, there is that much of change in the pitch in both of them? I don't see. Very kind
It's a day
similarity.
game. Why will the pitch
Yeah, day
change?
game.
Sri
Yes,
Lanka have won
there's
the
no
toss and decided to field first.
field first. So there is no you cannot do anything. You are batting fast then. So India are batting fast, and Sri Lanka will bowl. And Sri Lanka will continue. Sri Lanka will believe that okay, we have done well while chasing. Let's
Exactly,
continue that. Yes, we
exactly.
have done well. We did well. So let's continue. We will use our
And also,
spinners.
Indian bowlers struggled while bowling
Hmm.
to South Africa.
Hmm.
While the chase was on, and I think had it not been for Sneh Rana taking those 3 wickets, it would have gotten tougher because Brits, one more over of Brits, and
Hmm.
Dickerson also being there, it would have been, you know, Dickerson is
Talent dusting.
clearing boundaries here, and her hit is staying as hit, so that power, that's very impressive.
Hmm.
मनदीप 300 क्यों भाई 300 क्यों 300 मतलब मैच वैसे ही बहुत बहुत दूर चला गया I think I would
Right.
want to see India score 235 240 and then Sri Lanka stays interested and they can chase the game.
Yes.
But if it's an
Okay.
Atabatu special, it does not matter. Whatever it is, Sri Lanka will win.
Yes. Pavan should is also thinking like Trishadi. He is also expecting Jayima to do well today.
I'm expecting 2 wickets in the power play. I told you.
Yes.
So, any changes? Hasini Padera, Chamari Atapatu, Vishmi Gunaratne, Harshita Samare Vikrama, Kavisha Dilhari, Nilakshi De Silva, Anushka Sanjeevani, Demi Vihanga, Malki Madara, Sugandhika Kumari, Inoka Ranavire.
No change, right?
Doesn't seem like.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
no
think
change.
Priyanka did pretty well on her debut. She did pretty well.
She the good part is she had that line and length and um,
Hmm.
she was bowling consistently in that line and length. Asim Hans wants us to predict and then he'll come and tell us your prediction is all wrong.
Okay, Mandip saying
Also
India
is
need to
going
put on 300 today. Okay, 300 is the game done and dusted if they put 300.
uh,
Asimhans is ready, I think, with his notebook to write what we will say. Prediction for
I would
India's
say
score batting part.
238 to 240. And I'll tell you why am I telling this score. I don't even believe that India is going to score that less. It's just that if you don't score 238, 240, then the match I don't think will be that competitive. So
Yes.
that's why I want India to score something around 238, 240 and the match to be a little more competitive.
Okay, I will add few more runs, 260. Go for it.
Go for it, 260.
Hmm.
And just by the
Okay.
way, Jemmy will score 70 odd. That's the present prediction.
Uh, that's
Yeah.
a separate prediction. The Jaima will score around 70 or 80. Okay. So what India playing even I think the same, right?
Yeah, yeah. India playing 11 is the same as well.
Okay. So again, Pratika will be the player to watch out for the way she is batting every day. And this is the patience that you are talking about, Tushati, that a player like Shamari Adabatu needs to show. I think Pratika is a perfect example. She doesn't take that much of pressure, stays there, play the longer innings, and give that stable start to India in every time.
Exactly. Absolutely. I think I would actually want Pratika to fail a little before the World Cup because you
Yes.
don't want her to fail in the World Cup.
Lots of average.
Maximum,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. I'm scared of law of averages catching up.
Yes. But huge game for Harlinder, Tushati.
Yes, she has almost fixed the number 3 spot. I know a lot of people spoke about her strike rate, but who else are you gonna get in her place if you're talking about strike rate? Right now, you have given enough chances to Yastika, you have given chances to Harleen, and she has scored those runs. That is where, and especially at number three, I don't think you're supposed to play at a strike rate of 120 or
Yes.
130.
And you
Yes,
also tried
she
Tejas. Still, she didn't perform.
exactly. So I would like Harleen to rotate the strike a little more,
Hmm.
and especially now she should do that because she almost knows that she's there. Her position is confirmed. So
Hmm.
now she can change the style a little. I will not ask her to go for shots, but of course I will ask her to try and get in more singles and doubles.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And again, I think Dipti Sharma will be another player that will keep an eye on. I think she is yet to give her best in this series.
So true. Today would be a good day because, of course, Sri Lanka has a lot of left-handers. So I think for
Hmm.
Deepti and Sneh Rana becomes that much more important today.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, batting first, it is done. Mandeep saying India team don't had power hitters right now. They need some with the firepower England, Australia, New Zealand had.
एक ही चीज यार मनदीप, ये तुम लोगों ने दिमाग में बिठा लिया है कि इंडिया डोंट हैव पावर हिटर्स। मार तो रहे, रन जीत तो रहे, आप वो तो देख लो। पावर हिटर्स का करना क्या है? T20 में पावर हिटर्स मैं फिर भी समझूंगी। ओडीआईज में आप जीत रहे हो, ओडीआईज में आप वन ऑफ द टॉप टीम्स हो। क्या पावर हिटर से हो क्या रहा है? इनफैक्ट what you need to win the World Cup is not power hitters. What you need to win in this ODI World Cup is the fact that ये कल ही we were talking about this in the RCB game, that this time RCB has a good team. RCB has had a good team in a number of seasons, but this
Yes,
time they're
yes,
winning the close matches, the matches which they were almost on the verge of
yes.
losing. They're coming back and winning those. That part is what India has got to do. That part is what Australia does well. It is not about power hitters alone.
Yes, okay, Mandeep, that is a very good point that Pratika hadn't played against teams like Australia,
Correct.
England, New Zealand. So let's see if she can put good runs
But
against strong teams. Yes,
she's
and
not
that is
playing.
why.
She's playing
Yes.
against England. In
Hmm.
England before the World Cup,
Yes.
but she's not playing against Australia and New Zealand before the World Cup. You can judge her only in the World Cup then. That is exactly what I said. That in the law of averages, you don't want her to fail. You want, if she has to fail in one or two innings, abhi khatam kar lo bhai.
Hmm. Okay, Asiman saying, Trisha, you mentioned wanting Pratika to fail to settle the law of averages. Could just jeopardize her position for the World Cup, though?
If she fails in the series, then there might be a question mark. But if it's in the England series, ideally it should not, because England conditions are different, and in
Yes.
England conditions, your performance does not guarantee or does not give any sorts of indication
Yes.
that that is how you will perform in India as well. Very different conditions. So I would say her England performance should not be thought of. In fact,
Yes.
you should not consider the England series at all while taking World Cup into consideration.
Yes. Yes. Performance in England can boost the confidence into every player,
Correct.
but that
Correct.
cannot be the only benchmark to get into the squad for the World Cup.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
I think in this series because the conditions are similar and we expect this type of conditions in the World Cup only. So if in these conditions any player doing well, I think they should get the priority when it comes to the
Correct.
squad for the World Cup.
Correct.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Almost all the comments are done. Okay.
Thank you. The comments are
Okay.
done. The teams are done. We will now
Yes.
get ready for the match. In 15
Yes.
minutes, the match is beginning.
Yes. So we can wrap up then. I think all the discussion have been done, the teams and all, everything, players, individual comments have been taken. We have been in super form. I'm very happy. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Trishati, for joining in. Obviously, we hope that a very good match is waiting for us. At least better fight that we have been talking numerous time in this live. at least a better performance from Sri Lanka, what they did in the first match against India, so that against a good competitive match is all you want in the series, because ultimately the main aim, as we always say, for to get prepared for that World Cup. So thank you again. Let's join in the post match live show. Till then, enjoy the match and let's meet at the post match. Thank you.